Alright, what's up? So today we're back with another video, and this one's going to be a little bit different because today I'm going to be ranking off the top 5 strikers in UFC 4. I'm going to be basing this off practicality and just the best in my opinion, because I think you could place, Izzy on this list, but I just don't. I think, like, if you're really picking a striker to go in there and win, in ranked and stuff, I think there's a lot better choices than Israel. But we're going to start at number 5 here. I'm going to be ranking these from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And number 5 is going to be Jorge Gamebred Masvidal. And I know this may be controversial just due to how good he is in the game, but I think it'll be more reasonable once you see the rest of the fighters on this list. But let's get into him. So here is perks. He has force and nature, and this one's really good because with Masvidal you'll probably end up having more health than your opponent due to his power, speed, and health. So that'll come in handy a lot to minimize the damage you take. He has recharger, which is pretty obvious, obviously it says recovers more health in between rounds, so those wars you might have against the Nick Diaz's, the Nate Diaz's, and the Connors, other strikers, you'll have the little bit of edge at the start of each round in terms of health and stuff. But I don't want to focus on the perks too much. Of course, these are, perks are a big part of the game, but I feel like you should be focusing on, the more stats a little bit more. But of course, like, another really good one though that I want to talk about this is obviously his fast hands, and this can be really useful because hooks, uppercuts, overhands are just faster and more accurate. You really, in this game, accuracy is really important just due to the counters aren't as good in this game, and even when you do counters, you can get tracked very easily if somebody has high accuracy, so they're very useful. But let's get into his stats a little bit. Of course, you want to use, if you're picking Masvidal, you're really using him for his hands and his boxing, because as you can see, he has 95 punch power, 95 speed, he has 92 accuracy, which is really good accuracy to be fair. And then obviously he has that perk to just boost it up that little bit more. He has really good blocking. He also, I wanted to say that he does have very good boxing and stuff, but he does have really good kicks, unlike a lot of strikers in this game, or boxers in this game. Sometimes they don't have the greatest kicking animations, like Dustin Poirier. He's not in this list purely because, he has excellent hands, some of the best hands in the game. But if you go look at his kick animations, they're just really not usable. They're just really slow and not powerful either. So as you can see, he obviously has 93 kick power and kick speed, and his animations are just really good in general. He doesn't have the best footwork, which is a little bit of a downfall in his striking, at least because in this game it's really important to kind of be floating around the octagon, so you don't want to feel sluggish at all. But one thing I want to point out as well is also his takedown defense, 93 takedown defense. This is going to be really crucial in terms of ranked online world championships, because you'll be just playing, you'll be playing and you'll have people shooting for your legs, especially as Masvidal, because nobody's trying to stand with Masvidal, especially if they don't have another great striker. So that's a really useful stat. Switch stance, I want to point this out too. His switch stance isn't the best, as you can see. It's actually the worst that you can get in the game. So against somebody, with really good leg kicks, it could be a burden trying to use them. Just because when you switch stance, you lose 20% of his power because the stat is 80. So let's get into the next one here. And at number 4, we're going to have Robert the Reaper Whittaker. And personally, Robert is my favourite just fighter, striker, just fighter in this game, His kickboxing is just so clean, he's really powerful, fast, his takedown defense is 94, his kick animations aren't the best, well, his lead kick animations aren't the best. He has really good rear kick animations, rear body kick, rear leg kick, rear head kick, but just his lead kicks you want to try and use a little bit less, and just use his rear kicks as much as you can. Like Masvidal, he is more of a one stance fighter. He has, obviously 80 switch stance, so you really want to keep him in that orthodox stance. I'm pretty sure, yeah, he's an orthodox fighter, so you really want to keep him in that orthodox stance. And just luckily with Robert, you can really do anything. Of course, this is top 5 strikers, but he has pretty good grappling too. Like, he has 90 ground strike and 90 one clinch strike and 95 sub D. So even when you're coming up against those pesky Sousas and stuff like that, you can really do a good job to defend yourself on the ground. He has his main obviously stats are going to be his punch speed and punch power, along with his kick power and kick speed. He has pretty good head movement, so you can use that, especially since how crucial that is in this game. You know, I see a lot of people using the new feature to block with head movement, and that's really useful. Like I was saying though, especially with the Masvidal, he has 94 takedown defense. He can sprawl on wrestlers all day long. His takedowns obviously aren't the best, but if you do get it to the ground, he has 88 top control, which isn't the worst in all fairness. His cardio is 94. He can go for days. His chin is 90, which is a little bit questionable, but he doesn't lose many trades in this game, luckily. So, you know, if you look at the rest of the division, these are going to be also, like, on the rest of our division, kind of, he's very good, but his hands aren't the best, kind of, in the pocket and stuff. So if you can, you know, keep it close and in the pocket with Whittaker, you're bound to win most fights. The only challenge you might have is maybe against a Costa player, but as you can see, he obviously has very good leg health too, so any leg kickers, just great. And 98 recovery, which is something that makes Robert as good as he is, because as soon as you get rocked, boom, he's back out of the rocked state. You know, obviously he was given this due to probably the war he had with Romero. But that's going to be that for Robert. He has level 4 boxing, actually, I want to point that out too, so you can just box for days with him. He has very good combinations and stuff like that. That's going to be that for Robert though. And at number 3, this is my favourite boxer in the game, at least. We're going to have Cody Garbrandt. And Cody Garbrandt is just so good in this game. You know, I see a lot of people, a lot of the lower division fighters, players, they just don't know about Cody, so I see him a lot less in ranked. But I'm sure if any of you take anything from this video, it's to try out Cody. As you can see, like, just look at his stats. For example, he obviously is, as you already know, he's a mainly boxer fighter, but look at his punch speed, 97 punch speed and 98 power. So people that are obviously questioning his chin, which is very low, and we'll get into that here in a minute. You know, the thing is, in this game, if you can just win the majority of trades, you should be really good, you know. And with Cody, with his 97 speed and 98 power, you're just bound to win the majority of trades, and, you know, if not all of them, just completely. He has really good head movement, so you should utilize that as much as possible. With Cody, you really just want to use his footwork, kind of dancing around the octagon. Obviously, kind of nearly like his cruise performance in game. That's what you want, kind of every fight you can. He has very good switch stance, unlike some of the other strikers. That's why he is put above some of them, like Masvidal and Whittaker here. So you can go into southpaw if needs be. You know, you have the Marlon Moraes, the Jose Aldos kicking your legs. You can go into the switch stance as a backup. He doesn't have the greatest kicks, but he does have, you know, good enough kicks that you can use them if needs be. You know, you're trying to work somebody's body. That's what with Cody, you really want to mix it up too, because he has such good power and speed. You can do damage anywhere. You know, no matter where you hit, it's going to be doing great damage. So you really want to kind of mix it up too, so you're not just headhunting, you're also working the body and stuff like that. But if you want to headhunt also, Cody is probably the best person to headhunt with. You know, his block breaking is just on another level. He has, like Whittaker and Masvidal, another good fighter with takedown defense. That seems to be, you know, a common trend with these strikers, because they're able to keep it on the feet and kind of knock out their opponents. You know, he doesn't have the greatest grappling, of course, but, you know, when you're striking, you want to just keep it on the feet. So he has good sub defense, even if it does get to the ground. And if you find yourself on top, he has 92 ground striking, which will come in handy. Of course, here's some of his downfalls. He has very good cardio, of course, as you can see, but his chin is only 87, which obviously isn't the best. But like I was saying, with him, you're just going to be going in there slinging combinations, you know, probably finding yourself in the pocket and brawling like he does in real life. But the thing is, you're just not going to lose trades, like I said multiple times already. So you won't probably take that much head damage, and you'll be dropping them if they really are trying to engage with you, Cody. He has pretty good body health too, so you won't need to worry about getting hit to the body too much. Another thing is, he has a level 5 hook. And, just putting a jab and then hooking with him is just such a beauty in this game. You can just do so much damage. It's so clean and so quick. And he has level 5 combinations, unlike Whittaker and Masvidal. So you can, you can just be throwing out 4 pieces all day long. And a lead body uppercut, which isn't utilized too much in this game. It's good to throw maybe a lead body uppercut and a rear head uppercut. But like I said, with Cody, you just want to keep it a clean fight, and if they try and engage, just throw a nice 3-piece to the head and rock them and drop them. He doesn't have the best reach, but also something I really want to point out that I've just remembered now is Cody's 1-2 is probably by far the best in the game. It is just so stiff, and it's like a piston with a speed and power. It gets a hit reaction near every time, so it'll kind of stun your opponent just a slight bit, which will be enough to kind of get the rest of your combinations off and start maybe a block break or something if that's what you're looking to do. And number 2, we're going to go to the women's division, and we're going to be going to the women's GOAT, the Lioness, Amanda Nunes. And I think Nunes has to be on this list just due to, her striking abilities. She's been knocking everyone out in real life, so I think that is shown very well in this game. She has a very nice jab straight. She has the Celtic Cross straight. Or no, she has Nate Diaz's straight anyways, which is really good because it hits stuns a lot of the time, like Cody's straight. I think they both might have level 5 straights. She has good perks for her abilities, at least, like the straight punches are faster and more accurate, and that's what you want to be using her jab straight a lot. She has fast hands. She's just like a lightning bolt in this game. Even her perks just making her faster. Crazy legs, roundhouse and switch kicks are faster and more accurate. Everything about her is just power and speed. And with her, like I said, you can do everything with her, but you mainly want to kickbox. She has, the 96 punch speed, 96 power. She has the really good jab straight. I'm sure we'll get into our moves here, our best moves. She has really good accuracy. You can't. There's not much downfalls on Amanda Nunes in terms of striking, at least. Just everywhere. She obviously has that really good switch stance too. So if you're getting leg kicked, you can switch into the other stance, and you can still have the majority of power without losing much at all. She does have 91 takedown defense, which could be better, but at the same time, if you're just naturally good with your reactions and stuff, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. And her kick animations are pretty good. She has the 93 kick power and 94 kick speed to go along with it. So with Nunes, you kind of just want to, kickbox with her, and if anyone, it's kind of like Cody, but just more kicking oriented, and you just want to put on the pressure as well. You just kind of want to block break them a little bit, and don't give them room to breathe. And with Nunes, her punches and kicks will just do an immense amount of damage that they won't be able to be in there that long, taking too much damage. She obviously has, her ground, if you find it, you go to the ground, she's very good at handling herself on the ground. Of course, she doesn't have the best bottom game, but if you look at the rest of her stats, she has 90 submissions, 93 sub D, so you're probably not going to be getting choked out or getting your arm broke off or anything like that. She has 95 ground striking, which is amazing. So if you find yourself on top, you can just smash people. And if you really are kind of having a tough time on the feet with maybe like a Jermaine the Randomy or a Chris Cyborg, you can take it down with the 91 takedowns. I'm sure she has an ankle pick, I'd like to think, at least, and here are some of her stats. Good enough cardio to keep you going. You don't obviously want to overthrow her because you can gas out. 94 chin, just really good. You take a lot of damage to the chin before you're going out or giving up, kind of. 96 body, which is just amazing. You can just take so much damage to the body. But let's try and move on to her top moves. She has very good boxing combinations, just like the rest of the people in this. Like the loop and cross, that's the straight she has. It's 4-star, so it's really useful, and it's a hit stun near every time. Her roundhouse kick, she's famous for that. She's knocked out Holly Holm with it. That was just very clean performance as well. And but everything about our hook, like Cody's hook, just very useful. But let's get on to the last but not least. Actually, the opposite of least. The best person in this game to strike with, in my honest opinion, is Conor the Notorious McGregor here. So we're gonna look at him in depth and just go through everything, kinda. just because I think he deserves the time to be just kind of picked apart and told how he should kind of play with him and stuff. So out of the gates, strikes consume less stamina during rounds 1 and 2, so you can really put on the pressure in round 1 and 2 and not be as punished for it as you would if you're trying to put on the pressure late. So that's what you really want to do. It's kind of like Conor in real life. He's more of a blitz fighter, you know. He'll be the best for round 1 and 2, and then you might fade a little bit if you're not very careful with your stamina. But I recommend the counter to that is working the body a lot. If you work the body with McGregor, your opponent, you could be in round 5 and your opponent will probably have less stamina than you. He has laser focus like a lot of these strikers, which will just make your straight strikes even better. With Conor, is just crucial just due to his straight. You know, everyone knows Conor straight. It KOs everyone, it seems, but that's just gonna be faster. You know, his jab is gonna be more lethal. Of course, he doesn't use the Superman, I don't think, which isn't gonna come in handy, but he has fast hands again then, which hooks and uppercuts and overhands are faster. Like, so his jab straight and straight strikes in general, and then his hooks and uppercuts and overhands are just covered to be very fast. As you can see, you know, he has pay to miss, sways while standing still, moving forward, evade more efficiently. So that's going to be really crucial too, because in this game, you know, the straight strikes or just strikes in general will track you a lot when you're using your head movement. So it'll be a lot easier to evade those strikes, and it'll be harder for them to track you just due to that perk that Conor has. He has it's really useful, of course, for he's in the description, sorry, just stuttering a little bit here, but in the description it's for standing still and moving forward. So that's kind of useful because with Conor you want to really just pressure as much as possible, but also be stamina efficient because you don't want to gas out with him. And Predator fast or movement when advancing or moving sideways, which is obviously great for Conor again. You know, he's really just used for pressuring, or he's made for pressuring, as you can see, like his stats, faster hands out of the gates, less stamina taking him 1 and 2, and then obviously the Predator. And then we get into his stats, where they're just amazing as well. He has 98 punch power and 98 punch speed, should I say, sorry, and 96 punch power. He has 99 accuracy, 92 block, and 95 head movement, 97 footwork. And all these stats are going to come in great use because his hands are just like the best in the game, and this is why I have him as number 1, mainly because of his hand speed and hand power, and then his accuracy. And accuracy is so crucial in this game just because it tracks so much if you have high accuracy. So basically, if people are using head movement against you, even if they're trying to slip a straight strike, it can catch them a lot, and it can, you know, it can hurt them badly, especially with Conor's straight and the speed on it. And then his footwork too. You want to just be moving around the octagon a lot, and this is going to come in use and handy just because, you know, you don't want to be caught still in this game, because if somebody's pressuring you, you want to be moving as much as possible because you don't want to get block broken. So you want to be kind of using the lunges backwards and stuff like that. He has 91 takedown defense, which of course isn't the best, but like I was saying with Nunes, if you have good natural reactions, it should be useful enough. Or should be good enough. Should suffice. His kick power and kick speed isn't the most amazing, but the good thing is at least he does have good kick animations, good lead, good rear kick animations. So if you are using them, you can use both his rear and lead. So his grappling, as you can imagine, Conor's grappling isn't going to be, you know, no Damian Moore or Kamaru Usman grade grappling. So he has 84 takedowns. You're not going to be taking anyone down with Conor. 89 top control and 89 bottom control. Aren't the best, but you can do. He has okay sub defense. It's actually got upgraded from UFC 3, which I was really shocked about. Ground striking is 93 and clinch striking 88. His health, good, very good chin, very good body, and good enough cardio. I think they maybe gave Conor a bit too good a cardio and good recovery, which is really useful because you can just recover very quickly and get back into the action. And here are some of his moves. He has level 5 combinations, boxing combos, so you can just sling off 4 pieces for days. His cross, probably the best move he has. And then the body straight, which is really good if you're just trying to set up body work, because you can just pump out that body straight. You can put like a lead hook in front of it. You can put the lead hook first and then the body straight. So that's just going to be very useful. I don't know why he has level 4 ground straights though. Maybe just because he's used it against Max and stuff. And of course he has a reach advantage over most people in this division. Tony does have an advantage, and I'm sure Nate does too. But that's going to be this for this, or that's going to be that for this. Sorry if it was, it was a very long video, but I just wanted to explain everyone's stats and just go through everyone in depth and just show everyone how good these fighters are. So I'll give my, I think obviously Masvidal 5th. I think he is a little bit kind of stiff, and I think McGregor can beat him in the welterweight division. I think Whittaker's really good, and there's not too much in the middleweight division that can compete with him for striking, at least. Of course, a good Izzy player can be a little bit tough if you're trying to fight him at a distance. Cody Garbrandt, by far best hands in the game, I think, tied with Conor at least. And in the bantamweight division, there's nobody near as good as him with boxing. Then at number 2, Nunes, just by far the best striker in that division. There's no one even close except Chris Cyborg. And of course, if you want to say Valentina Shevchenko, but she's just a little bit too small in my opinion. She can just kind of get overpowered and pressured because she doesn't even hit that hard too, so it's kind of tough. And then number 1, just Conor. You don't even need to say, you don't even explain Conor too much, just due to how good he is. The proof is in the pudding. But that's going to be me for now. I appreciate everyone for watching. Like I said, I apologise for the video being so long, and if you have enjoyed it or found it somewhat useful, and you found someone that you might like or you want to try out more, then a like would be appreciated. And if you haven't already subscribed, that'd also be appreciated. But that's going to be me for now. I'll be back with more videos soon. Peace.